Welcome back to the Reentry Room, the podcast where we speak the truth about working motherhood and redesign the systems that were never built for us in the first place. I'm Alexa Starks. I'm a leadership expert, speaker, and the founder and CEO of Executive Moms. Through my reentry blueprint workshops and consulting and coaching, I help companies stop quietly losing working moms after maternity leave and start building real systems to retain and support them. Today's episode is very personal, and it's one of the most common patterns I see in working moms across every industry, every level, and every role. This idea of I didn't say no because I thought I could handle it. I said yes because I thought I had to. So let's talk about the quiet burnout of overcommitting out of fear. So, this is the moment it happens, right? You're maybe a few weeks back from leave, maybe you're a month or two, and you get asked to lead a project or to cover for someone or take on something new or add on another new project. And everything in you hesitates because you already have a full plate. You're already at full workload. But you say yes. You still say yes because what if saying no makes them question your commitment? What if it confirms their fears that you're less focused now? I'm doing air quotes, less focused. What if this is the thing that decides whether you get the next promotion or not? So you say yes, even though your plate is full, even though your baby was up all night, even though you haven't had a real lunch break in weeks, because God forbid you take an actual break, you only take breaks for your baby or pumping or breastfeeding. So you say yes because the cost of saying no feels too risky. But let's talk about what this cost actually looks like. So this is really how it starts, how burnout starts. It doesn't start with like a full-blown breakdown. It starts with a calendar and workload that starts slowly filling up with things that you don't have capacity for. And you convince yourself that I can do this. It's just one more thing, one more project. It's good for me. It's good for visibility. It's good to stretch goal, stretch project. It shows my skills. I can get my work seen in front of more people. But then it's always going to be one more thing. Take on this, add this more thing. And before you know it, you're drowning quietly, overworking all hours. You're up early, you're up way later after the kids go to sleep to finish up what you had. And you still have a pile of work that just keeps tacking on to the next day and the next day. And this high functioning starts to take over where you're overworking. And because no one sees you struggling, right? God forbid you ever let anyone see you struggle. Because no one sees you struggling, they just assume that you're fine. And because you didn't say you're struggling, they assume that you're fine. And because you never said no to take on more projects, they assume that you have more room. And so this is the trap that so many moms fall into. And it's not a weakness, it's just conditioning. We've been conditioned and expected to do this. And this is called systemic patterns. Companies love to reward the yes woman, the team player, the one who takes on more work without any complaint. Yes, 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 I'll take it on. I'd love to do that. But when moms say yes out of fear, not alignment, we lose. We lose not just energy, not just time, we lose visibility on what we want to be doing. We get known for being reliable instead of brilliant, right? We can't put 100% effort into 100% quality of work if now we're taking on more work and splitting ourselves and we don't have as much energy to devote to our mom life and family because we're doing too much. And so we lose our own voice in the process. This is why reentry, coming back from maternity leave, can't just be about workload or logistics. It has to include power and permission and language. It has to equip women to say no without fearing that they'll be punished for it. So that you know how to say, I'm at workload capacity right now. I would love to take that on, but can we push it to next week or next month? Or if that is a priority, I'd love to take it on. Is there something on my workload right now that we can push and move off or delegate to somebody else? Right? So you're not necessarily saying no, you're just saying, let's adjust what I currently have to support this new initiative. And this is what I teach in my reentry blueprint workshop. It's one of the most common and most important shifts I help teams make is this, that stop assuming that silence equals consent or acceptance or approval, right? From a managers. Managers need to stop assuming that the working mom's silence means she's okay, because she might not be. Just because someone isn't saying no doesn't mean they're saying yes from a place of confidence. So in my workshops, I teach managers how to ask better questions like, do you want to lead this or do you feel like you have to? Do you have the capacity to take this on right now? Do you have the bandwidth to lead this, or do we need to adjust workload so that you can take this on and we can delegate something else to someone else? And normalize boundary setting as leadership, not resistance. Setting healthy boundaries, like with the times you work, so you're not working 6 a.m. All the way up until 10, 11 p.m. to try to do everything. And create space for those capacity check-ins before burnout shows up. This is one of the most important things I teach in my workshop, is to create capacity check-ins. So maybe it's part of your weekly one-on-one with your manager, or maybe it's a separate one-on-one meeting, but you actually talk about, what is your capacity? How are you feeling? How is your workload? Are you struggling? What can I help with? And then I teach working moms to notice when you're saying yes from fear instead of clarity. Instead of saying yes because you're afraid of what you'll be perceived as if you say no, right? And practice saying, let me check my bandwidth first. Practice saying, okay, where's my workload capacity at? Do I have a full plate already? Is it almost full? Do I have some time in my schedule each week that I could be doing something more? And then ask for rescoping without apology. I just gave you a few examples of saying, hey, my plate is full right now. Is there a project that we can delegate to someone else so that I can take this on? Right? You're not apologizing and you're not saying no. You're saying, let's just rescope so that I can take this on. All right. So, to the woman listening, if this is you right now, if your calendar is full of things that you never had space for, but felt like you couldn't turn down anything and you couldn't say no, let me say this very clearly to you. You are not less committed because you protect your energy. You are not less promotable just because you say no to things. And you are not less valuable because you understand your own capacity. You are not here to prove your worth. You already have it. You haven't lost it just because you became a mom. If anything, it's grown with all your mom skills. And if the people around you can't see that, let's teach them how. We don't need more women burning out quietly to protect the comfort of untrained managers. We need structure, we need language, and we need cultures that understand how to lead working parents with respect. And that's what I build, and that's what I teach. And that's why I will keep showing up to change the systems. Thank you for being in the reentry room, and I will see you next time. If this episode made you rethink how we support working parents, share it with someone in your corner or someone in charge. And if your company is ready to lead the change, learn more about the Reentry Blueprint Workshop at executivemoms.co. Because thriving after leave should not be the exception, it should be the system.